Merry Christmas Eve. It's Tony Yannuzzi from Tequesta, Florida, on an unseasonably for Florida cold front. But I'm here on GoTarryn TV discussing my recent foray into the world of jiu-jitsu. Back in a second.
And we're back, everybody. Yes, that's right. We have Tony Yannuzzi on this very special holiday edition, Christmas Eve. It's Thursday, December the 24th. And Tony, I can't thank you enough for coming on GoTarryn TV of all days here on this festive spirit. So thank you so much for joining us, Tony. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm spending Christmas with the Farrow family, and they're in church. So while they're in church, I'm here with you, spending this Christmas Eve edition, and I'm happy to do it.
Well, I can't believe it's already here. It's upon us. And first and foremost, Tony, I can hear you a lot better. I think that the folks can hear you. The last video blog, it looks like since then you've gotten a new microphone, I understand.
Yes, I want to apologize to everybody who tried to hear me and couldn't. What I didn't realize is that I was relying too much on my internal laptop microphone, which really wasn't any good in the first place.
Ah,
And
gotcha.
because I'm too frightened to see myself back on any kind of tape, I didn't know this. So finally, when I think it was Sean George who finally smartened me up to it, I was able to plug in USB web microphone that solved the problem.
Perfect. Well, again, loud and clear, Tony. This is great. Really great to have you on here. And so also, we understand that we've gotten a really cool couple of pictures from you in your jiu-jitsu outfit, and you're also next side by side with the gentleman who we'll talk about shortly. So how is that going? Let's talk about, first of all, how did you get into the jiu-jitsu training, Tony?
Well, it's funny because um, when I first met Katie and we first became serious, her form of exercise, because she was a busy nurse at a hospital. She's going to be a nurse practitioner after she graduates and we get married.
Excellent.
But when we met, she was a busy nurse at a hospital, as she still is at the moment. But anyway, because she was so busy, the only real form of exercise she could get was going to play tennis. But right as we got into the groove of, okay, this is a serious thing between us, she couldn't make it to the tennis courts anymore because she was so busy. Well, right around that time, she got she got intrigued by martial arts lessons. There's a dojo, the Walled Blois Team Noguera Academy of Mixed Martial Arts in Palm Beach Gardens.
Oh, cool.
And Walled Blois is the gentleman who you'll see in the photo I have. I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm sorry.
Oh, you're
But
fine.
so anyway, she goes into their dojo, and per their introductory student deal, she was able to try out at least one of all the classes they offer. And once she found one she liked, she she would stick with it and therefore start paying the fee associated.
Okay.
And she decided she liked, because first she tried self-defense, and I remember because I was there on the bleachers cheering her on. Ultimately, though, she decided on kickboxing. So, to move the story forward, any time we had a date night at her house and she would have kickboxing, I would be there on the bleachers cheering her on. And her instructor was a gentleman by the name of Coach George, and he would be the one, or not proctoring, but leading the class. And while they were doing that, and I was on the bleachers, Mr. Blois, Master Wall Blois would come in at any real point in time. And he was a real big, friendly guy, and anybody he saw that he knew or he didn't know, he would come up, say hello, shake their hand, hug them, whatever. Hey, how you doing? Nice to see you. And as I kept coming in, he kept sitting down next to me and in his friendly way, telling me how um, uh, nice a martial arts class would be for myself. And at first I thought, well, this man, nice as he is, probably doesn't know my limitations. And at first, even Katie would joke, "Are you kidding? His mother would kill me." But as time went on, and he realized what I could or couldn't do, he would still sit with me, very nice. In fact, I was so unsure of myself, and I kept meaning to ask my cardiologist as whether or not this was safe, or he'd even recommend it. And as time went on, I kept honestly forgetting to check with either of my cardiologists. And as time went on, I started feeling bad that this is a very nice man. He's not pressuring me. He's telling me sincerely how much he loved, training with me and training me. He's not trying to put any sales pressure on me, and yet I can't give him a straight answer. So fast forward, and my birthday this year, Katie got me as one of many little gifts, a certificate, a literal paper certificate from the Walt Boys Mixed Martial Arts Academy, saying this entitles you to one free private. It was titled self-defense lesson, but it all tied in with jujitsu and escaping holds and protecting yourself and whatnot.
Nice.
And so I'm like, okay, well, she paid for it, and I really do want to do this, but luckily, this was around October when I was going up to Boston to see my cardiologist, and I think I remember mentioning that I did tell him back when I was giving you the report on how it went
Yes.
about asking him if I could do jujitsu or any sort of martial arts. And long story short, he said, "Well, I'm not going to stop you, but I really wouldn't recommend it.
Okay.
A a a private self-defense session is okay, but if you get slammed to the ground or any of that stuff, because my issues go beyond my heart. I
Yeah.
got one lung, I got back problems,
Mm-hmm.
and that's why he said being slammed to the mat could cause long-term blunt force trauma on my spine,
Oh,
which really
man.
is good.
Oh,
So anyway, I come back. I say, well, it's not going to stop me, and I'd love to try. So we scheduled a time where uh, Katie could be with me to watch, and it was about 2 weeks ago, and it was a Sunday morning, 11 o'clock, and we sat there outside. The dojo was obviously closed. He was going to come in, make a special trip to train me. And we're waiting and we're waiting. I'm thinking, okay, oh, geez, something really must have happened. Because the picture I've been trying to paint for the past, I don't know, few minutes is that this is a very nice, honest, stand-up gentleman.
mm-hmm.
I mean, he's a big, hulking, muscular, intimidating guy if you don't know him. But he's really a nice sweetheart if you do know him. So when we're sitting there wondering where he could be, I immediately think, oh my God, something must have happened,
Huh.
rather than, oh, this guy's a shady shyster, which isn't the case at all. But so then we go about the rest of our day, and Katie meets with him afterward during her regular kickboxing session, teases him about not making the session, and he feels incredibly embarrassed and feels real bad. And we scheduled 2 weeks later, which was a Saturday.
Yeah.
And we scheduled it at 2:30, which is right after his last Saturday class. We knew for sure he would be there. And again, he was very apologetic, over and over. I'm sorry. Just very, he felt bad, but he wanted, he felt he owed me big time, is what I'm trying to say.
Mm-hmm.
So he, he said, what I'm going to do is I'm going to work with you today, and I'm going to give you an extra free session because I screwed up last time, which he didn't have to do, and I'm incredibly grateful
That
for.
was nice. Yeah.
And so basically, because he knew my limitations by now, the whole session consisted of uh, escaping basic holds like choke holds and headlocks, and as we say in pro wrestling circles, the German suplex from behind waist lock,
Oh wow.
uh, and it was repetition, and I have to admit that even though I wasn't completely tired out, I could feel my breath getting heavier and heavier by the time the session was over. And later on that evening, when Katie wanted to get a head start on Thanksgiving ingredients and go to Publix at 7:30 at night, I felt my lower back seizing up just as a result of repeated twists and turns from the self-defense through no fault of his own. I'm not blaming him at all. Again, I'm trying to paint a picture of this was the most pleasant experience I could have asked for. With somebody of my limitations, he really took care of me, uh, is planning on taking care of me again in one other free session. And then he says, beyond that, it's up to you whether or not you want to continue with this. It's up to you. I'd love to have you. I enjoy working with you. And that's basically how we left it. But another point I want to make while I'm talking is in between all the self-defense, he was telling me about. He was telling me that he's actually the cousin of the Team Noguera, the Noguera twin brothers.
Oh, that's awesome. Rogerio and Rodrigo.
Exactly,
That's
exactly.
awesome.
So yeah, so he was telling me that both of his brothers, the family as a whole, were obviously very worried as families can be when their boys say, "Oh, we're gonna go to the UFC." They were very very worried, as you would understand.
Oh yes.
But but what they told their family is, and the whole lesson he was trying to impart to me in the first place is, it's always mind over matter.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to do this because we know that if we let our mind take control, we will be fine. And they went on to have great careers. And again, it was what he imparted to me in the first lesson, in that if somebody grabs you and pulls you forward,
Mm-hmm.
you really shouldn't try to fight back, because if somebody pulls you forward, it's like, okay, I'm being pulled forward. What do I do now?
Mm-hmm.
Not, okay, he's pulling me forward. I want to go this way and try to jerk him backward. Because that way you both get hurt and nothing goes right. But at least if you go with the opponent, then you can do something to deflect what he's doing. And again, as I'm saying a million times by now, his lesson for that first session was mind over matter when you're trying to defend yourself.
Huh. That is good. I like that. That is awesome. So now, what is your take so far on it? Do you feel like this journey is kind of like? Are you like now feeling like maybe CM Punk does, the way that he's gone from wrestling into mixed martial arts?
Well, I really wouldn't go that far, only because A, I haven't formally trained to wrestle, and B, I don't I don't foresee a UFC career for myself. However, just as I started, just as I working out, at first it was hard. The more I kept at it, the more, I built some sort of muscle mass, and I began feeling better physically. And my cardiologist was saying, "Oh, even looking at you, I see a big improvement." Same thing with these lessons. I mean, I figure the more I do it, the better I can become. And at the very least, I'll know how to defend myself if I get into a scrape. And I have a big debt of gratitude to Master Wald Blois and the whole academy, just for even before I started taking lessons, just for treating me like one of their own, just as I was sitting in the stands watching Katie. So I want to say thank you to the whole dojo.
Well, that's going to be
And,
exciting to see your transformation and how this goes, and that'll be into the new year of 2016, I think, to follow your progression and see how you're doing. So we can't wait to follow that, and that's exciting, Tony. I really commend you for doing that.
thank you very much.
Yes, and again, folks watching, we'll get those pictures up here shortly before we fade to black. But before we do so, Tony, I've thoroughly enjoyed our conversation here. Let's ask you, looking back and reflecting, this is the last video blog you and I are going to do for this year in 2015, of course. We've been going at it since March, of averaging about having you on here every month, which is awesome. You're our most frequently recommended guest and requested guest that's on here on GoTarryn TV. So we appreciate you having time to come on here. But as you reflect back into this past year and going into the new year, do you have any New Year's resolutions for the new year for yourself?
Um, I would think off the top of my head, just keep doing what I'm doing with fitness and exercise,
Yep.
and just don't lose the groove. And I
Uh,
don't intend to.
Very well said. And hopefully, if you have the time, we're going to have you back on. I'd like to have you as guest number one for 2016 into the new year. And that topic of discussion, we can go over some, maybe talk about top 10 New Year's resolutions at that time that we can see that you have forecasted. And I know one of them is going to be tying the knot, of course. That should be at the very top of your list because I'll be looking forward to coming out there to Florida and coming down and shaking your hand in person and giving you a hug, giving Katie a hug, and congratulating you guys on your new marriage. So I can't wait for that.
And you'll be right up there in front with us at the church as a groomsman.
Yeah, I'm so honored and thrilled and very, again, just, regard you as one of my very dearest, closest friends of now, what did we figure? About 23, 24 years, roughly, give or take. So,
Just about,
just
yes.
about, and it'll be amazing. It's going to be surreal. I think the world's going to almost come to an end
But
for the fact that we're going to meet each other in person, face to face. So, man, that's exciting. I can't believe it. It's going to be unreal. Well, Tony, I'll let you go, and thank you so much again, as always. And we will see you, Tony, next month, next year, as our guest number one on GoTarryn TV for 2016. How about that?
I look forward to it. Thank you
All
very
right.
much.
Very good. Likewise, Tony. Well, thank you so much again. And folks, thanks for watching. Please stay tuned as we fade to black here. We're going to take a look at Tony Yannuzzi's pictures, and we'll have his contact information on the screen as well. So check this out. All right, folks, there you have it. Tony Yannuzzi, one-on-one on GoTarryn TV with yours truly, Tarryn the Traveling Trainer, a.k.a. Santa GoTarryn, right here for you in the Christmas spirit. And folks, like I said, it is Christmas Eve, and I thank you so much for joining us on this very special Christmas Eve edition video blog here on your Thursday. So, hey, you've got one more day, and then it is officially Christmas. And so I'm in the spirit, and I want everyone out there to get in the spirit as well. And in the meantime, while you are going to your holiday parties, opening up Christmas presents, going underneath the mistletoe, enjoying your trees, I also want you to check out www.gotarryn.tv. Bookmark that as a favorite to your web browser today and tell 2 people about it. Also, if you haven't done so yet, I urge you to please make sure to like GoTarryn on Facebook, subscribe to GoTarryn on YouTube, follow GoTarryn on Twitter, and you'll stay connected with the jolliest guy in the greater Atlanta area, the personal trainer who has the most Christmas spirit here, not only in the whole world, but also in Atlanta. Tarryn the Traveling Trainer, master of the personal training universe of GoTarryn Personal Training. And I always tell each and every one of you, every single Christmas season, that it's your time, it's your investment, it's your life. So, Merry Christmas to all a good night, and I'll see you on the next video blog. Ho, 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 everyone.